The third round of the first quarantine tournament has just ended, and in this round, I see three games that stand out. The first one was played between Nishwant and Siddharth. Let's see what happened. Siddharth goes for the Gigo piano. Nishwant plays knight f6, allowing the fried lever attack, which starts with knight g5, d5, pawn takes, knight takes, and now comes knight f7. So basically, white is giving up the piece, but then he has queen f3, and king has to come here to support the knight. Otherwise, he just loses the piece back for a for a pawn. So king comes here. Now comes knight c3, attacking the knight again. Black has to defend it. Black is also making a threat on c2, and white has two ways to stop this. He has bishop b3, and there is also queen e4. Queen e4 is a better choice because then you are also threatening d4. But Siddharth goes for bishop b3, which is slightly inferior. c6 was played, defending the knight. Now a3, knight a6, castles. White's playing a little too slow. When you give up a piece, you got to play more actively, right? Bishop c5, rook e1, which is actually a mistake. Rook e1 looks like a normal move. You're attacking e5, you're putting a rook against the king. But in this position, it doesn't work. The tactics doesn't work. Black has almost come out of trouble, and now he has a winning move. Nishwant plays rook f8, and white is in trouble. Queen moves, queen e4, but it's a little too late because bishop takes pawn, king moves, and then takes the rook. Black just wins a rook for free. I mean, for an exchange of a bishop, you get a rook. Now comes another brilliant move. Black plays queen h4, offering a queen, but white cannot take it because of rook f1 checkmate. So white tucks his queen right next to the king, stopping all sorts of checkmate ideas. And here, Nishwant plays queen f4. Maybe rook f2 was better, or moving the king out was better. He goes with queen f4. That allows d4, queen f1. Of course, you cannot take the queen. It's taboo. If you take it, rook takes back and it's checkmate. So white just gets the bishop out. Rook is defending this. Queen takes, king takes back, and exchange of queens happened. And black cannot take this bishop. It's pinned. So king moves. Now there is a threat of knight takes bishop. So white just takes here first and then takes the bishop. I would have preferred knight takes, but okay. Pawn takes back and then rook comes here, threatening bishop c5 discovery. Right. So black moves the king out of that. Now b4, stopping this, making the square available for the bishop, and also stopping knight c5. Knight a4. This actually makes a very sneaky threat. White is threatening b5. When the knight moves, bishop c5 will get the rook, or at least get the exchange. Rook for a bishop. He moves out of it. Nishwant sees the tactic, he moves out of it, stopping b5, stopping bishop c5. White just plays normally, and then rook e8 comes, pinning the bishop. Knight d1. So Siddharth again has to go back to defend his pieces. Rook e6 now, I mean rook to f6. Now he's threatening rook e6, attacking the bishop again. White moves out of the pin. Bishop c2, knight f2, rook takes, was just a free piece. Nishwant just got another rook, another bishop. In addition to the rook he already had, he's now up by a rook and a bishop. So white is completely lost. Bishop d3. This actually allows knight g4. He should have played bishop f5, stopping knight g4. But even after knight g4, he is still winning. He can just put the rook back, and he will still be up by bishop and a knight, because knight take, rook takes back. Black's up by bishop and knight. Instead, he goes for some tactic, but it doesn't work out. Rook f1 does not work because the e3 rook is hanging. So after rook takes, bishop takes, knight takes back, and bishop moves. So basically, black is still winning. He's up by a bishop. He could have been up by a rook and a bishop. Now the rook is gone. Still winning. Let's see what black did now. King comes out into the center, which is good in an endgame. And black plays d4, which is nice. Knight takes, knight goes back, a4. a4 is a mistake because now c4 bishop is hanging. So he could not, after this, he could not have taken here. Just takes, and then now he is actually equal. White has suddenly become equal. He's just down one pawn, but that pawn is very dangerous. All right. Now, from a rook and a bishop up, it has become an equal position. Let's see what happens after this. King moves, knight check. The pawn starts to advance. White has to go and catch it. But then knight kicks the king back. Knight b3, asking for an exchange. Of course, you cannot even dream of exchanging the knights because then it's a completely lost pawn endgame. White king is in the last rank and pawns are advancing. So he plays knight back. King moves, king a2. King moves, knight check, and now a2. This is actually a mistake because now black can just play king a3. And there is a way to checkmate white. Move the king to a3 and then knight b3 is checkmate. Right? This king cannot move anywhere. If you cover this square somehow, like a3, then knight b3 comes with checkmate. So after king a3, white has to stop knight b3. He'll have to play knight b2 and that allows an exchange of knights. Knight b3 will come anyway. Knight takes, king takes. And the one position. But he plays king b3. But the problem is it's covering the square and the square, but knight cannot come here to give checkmate. That was the only square for checkmate. There was this also, but it's difficult for this knight to come and reroute it to c2. Now white just plays knight d2. He realizes that something needs to be done with this king. King moves, again check. King moves, again check. Of course, black wouldn't want to go back and repeat moves. That would make it a draw if you repeat 3 times. I mean, repeat 2 times, make it 3 times. So black comes to c2, which is correct. But now black just plays knight b3 check. A big crime because it's giving up this a2 pawn. That pawn is as valuable as a queen. And he just gives it up. He must have thought it was checkmate. But it's not. The a2 pawn can be just taken. Position is still good. I won't say winning, but he's a pawn up. Starts advancing the pawn. Knight attacks this pawn. H pawn moves to h6. Knight e6. And now comes the decisive blunder, which just throws the game away from a better position to a lost position. Nishwan plays g5. What can white do here? Nishwan has forgotten that if a pawn moves 2 steps and it passes by an opponent pawn, opponent can just take it en passant. It's a rule in chess. So if some of you are not aware of it, please keep it in your mind. If a pawn moves 2 steps passing by another opponent pawn, the opponent pawn can just take it in the next move if it wants. So he just forgot en passant and he just gets a losing position. Now this pawn is going to promote. King and knight is too far away. So next move is the queen. And then we have a very painful end because white is going to promote to 2 queens now. And then give checkmate. So from a position where it was completely winning, we come here. And that must have been hard for Nishwant. So that was the highlight of this round. There was another upset, which was not so big. I mean, the other one was not an upset. Still, it was close to an upset. This one was actually an upset between Aditya and Yatin. Let's just quickly see the game. E4, E5, knight F3. Again, we have a normal Giko piano, but the bishop has not come out. So it's basically Philidor defense. Bishop E6 and then D5. It's a free pawn. Aditya just gave a free pawn. Bishop goes back. Now another free pawn, which was already there. It was buy one, get one. And now knight goes back. Bishop A6, attacking the rook. Rook moves. Bishop out. Black king still in the middle, so he has to castle soon. He castles now. White plays E5. This is everything and more than you could ask for from the opening for white. You have beautiful pieces and 2 good pawns in the center. Yes, the knight is pinned, but that can change. Just plays rook E4, moving out of the pin. Bishop moves and then B4. The position is excellent. Here, white could have taken, after F5, white could have taken en passant. Black moved 2 steps, pawn takes en passant. If knight takes back, you just take bishop takes knight, and then this knight can come here to E6. And you're basically winning an exchange. You're attacking the queen and the rook. If he takes her, you take her. Anyway, he didn't see that. He didn't see that he could take en passant here. He plays rook d4, c5. And now, again, white can take en passant. Black moves 2 steps, so white can just play pawn takes pawn. Pawn takes pawn is played now. He realizes that's good. Now white is getting a piece. He's attacking the queen and it's attacking the bishop also. Queen moves, but bishop is gone. So white's up by full piece right now. and 2 pawns and a great position with blacking slightly not safe. Aditya takes the pawn and then goes back and takes the knight. So it was an exchange, but he doesn't get the pawn exchange. Bishop goes back. Queen moves here. Pawn e6. Again, white's completely winning. I can't believe white lost from here. Knight f6, attacking the rook. Rook moves back, attacking the queen. Queen moves. e7. You have a pawn almost a queen. Rook d8. Excellent. And now, of course, black cannot take it because when rook takes, pawn takes back queen, you lose both rooks for one rook and a pawn with a check. So he plays g5, ignoring that. If white takes, black will just take back. Knight e5, attacking the queen. Queen moves, and he took. There was no need to take it actually. He could have just left it there. Knight takes back, and then h4 is a big mistake because now the knight is hanging. So when you have a pawn this close to promoting, it's time to play some move like maybe queen d8. That will also do good. Or just defend the knight, like move the knight. Where would he move it? Knight e6 or knight f? I mean knight e3, d3 or knight f3. But he just gives it up, and along with one blunder comes another. Rook was also gone now, and it's like lottery for Aditya. 2 pieces in 2 moves, and he just finishes. White tries to bring his queen out, but there's no threats. Queen g7 is covered by this queen and the knight. Plays queen f3. Rook just comes out. Queen takes the pawn. Now that very important pawn is also gone. Queen check. King moves. Pawn check. Queen takes it. Another blunder. That was a free pawn. Check. Repeats, but no more repetition because if you repeat 3 times, it's a draw. He blocks everything, all the checks, and now he's ready to win. He's up by a full rook. He just exchanges of the queens, which Yatin allows so easily, and then picks up the pieces with his rook. Gets a bishop also. He could have played here rook a4 and picked up the pawn. That's just 2 moves, but instead he goes 1, 2, and 3 moves to pick it up, pick this pawn up. Anyway, now comes a very instructive position. This is completely winning, no doubt about it. But in such a position, you should not just allow this king to come close to the pawn. You can basically cut this king off by just playing rook c2, c7. I mean, you play rook c7, king cannot pass the c file, and your pawn on b file is free to move. So the easiest way to win such a position with an extra rook is you can even give up the knight, but just don't let the king cross the c file, come close to the pawn. Play rook c7, stay on the c file, and push pawn. Easy win. King won't be able to cross. Rook comes here. This time he doesn't do that, so he has to use more pieces to win the game. He brings the king over and does it in a nice way, step by step, and then checkmate. Now the last game that I would like to analyze with you is the game between Atik and Jay. A difference of 300 rating points. This is a very good example of using tactics and attack. The opening is just normal. It's a Kiko piano. Exchange of pieces. A file is opened, and now white gets a free pawn. Atik must have forgotten that a file is open. He just played rook d8. He should have played the other rook too. Over here, he should have played this rook to d8, maybe. Or played a6 first. Or exchanged and then played a6. Anyway, he gets a free pawn, does Jai. Now he has to do, Atik has to defend the b pawn. Goes there, b5, attacks it. c6 defends it. Now rook is free to move. Rook comes back. Now Jay made a silly mistake here. He should have played just queen c2, defending both the pawns. Right? Bishop is attacking this, rook's attacking this. Queen c2 defends both. And then the rook can come in and then play d4. Great position. Right? Pawn up. But he plays queen c1, just giving up the pawn. Atik has a choice. He can take here or here. He takes on d3. Jay saves the other pawn. But then Atik plays c4. So these are the kind of annoying moves that you need to make. The moves like c4. Because when opponent plays b4, he expects you to take. Right? But you don't go that direction. You just play c4, establishes the rook there. If he plays rook, you can just leave this rook here and play rook fd8. Right? So that's a very nice move. Now comes the tactic. Bishop takes h3, and when pawn takes back, you get the knight. So it's basically a pawn up, but that's not the most important thing. King is in trouble now. White has no piece around the king except for the rook. Queen cannot come to any of these squares. So this king is the sitting duck. You can just go and attack him and finish the game off. In chess, the most important thing is king safety. If your king is not safe, it's not gonna end well for you. You might be a rook up or something, but your king will get checkmated. Here it's equal, but now Arthik plays queen takes e4. He could have played queen h3 also. He chooses to take with the queen here and rook here. Jay should have played king h2 in this position to defend the pawn, but he just plays rook c5, giving up the pawn. Now there's a threat of queen h1, checkmate. There's a threat of queen g4, checkmate. Jay sees queen g4 checkmate and he moves the rook, making space for the king. But then it just is checkmate after queen h1. So 3 rounds of the tournament are over, and there are 3 more rounds. And tomorrow promises to be a nice day with very good games, I hope.